Okay. Okay, guys, so I'll start now. Welcome to the session. This is the 9th session of the TT series, and today the topic is Talk Like an Army General. And so today I'll share my slides now. Just let me know once you can see the slide. And yes.
Yes, we can see. Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So the style is the price technique, and the format is P is for prompt, R is respectful, I is inspiring or insightful, C is confident, E is engaged with eye contact. The acronym is quite clear. It does not need much explanation. The only thing that I want to say is that it's not about what you speak, as I repeated every time in most of my sessions, that it's not about what you speak, it's how we speak, right? And all the sessions will be henceforth related to embodying different personas and different personalities. So we are adopting the personality of an army general. So how an army general behaves is very prompt and respectful, is insightful, is confident, and it is very important that you look into your camera today and maintain that eye contact. You will be evaluated on the basis of the price format, and few more tips is to avoid filler words, to take more pauses, and have an upright posture. I messed it up here. Okay, and chin up and be consistent in your perspective. Do not shift it all along in your speech. I hope it is clear, all the tips and the format.
Yes.
Great. If you don't have any more doubts, then let me start the questions. Okay. I'll start with Chintan first, and then Munish, and then Aditya. So it is according to the first come, first serve basis. And since Aditya, you're new here, once we finish with the first participant, generally I evaluate the first participant. And when we come to the second participant, the first participant evaluates. And that the cycle goes on. And we do it for 3 rounds. And the evaluation should be strictly limited to 1 minute. Once you cross 1 minute, you will be muted without any warning. All right. Yes. So let me. Yes.
I want to know this prompt, like what includes
Prompt
in the
means
prompt?
you instantly deliver your answer. Generally,
Instantly.
army generals, they deliver it very fast. The answer, they don't think a lot because they know what they actually. So it's not that you have to give it instantly, but you have to be like kadak tarike se batana hai.
No, what we saw in movies that they also speak very loud. Is that the case then? Like,
No, you don't have to speak loud, although just that you have to be disciplined and that persona should come out. He's very clear with his thought patterns and what he wants the audience, what he wants the audience to know. That clarity comes off in his personality. That you should have today in your speech. You'll be evaluated according to that.
okay.
Let's try it out, guys. Okay, don't worry too much. Just enjoy. And okay, the first question goes to Chintan. And yes, what are some habits you developed in the service of military? And what are some that you dislike? Although you are not a military officer, but you can make up stuff, right? So try it out.
The most important habit of a military is discipline. We follow the ritual, not any habit or a routine which is not properly designed. We have set rules to get up early in the morning, then follow the particular ritual, and then serve to our nation. As the same goes with our eating pattern, same goes with our sleeping pattern, and same goes when it comes to our exercise and routine of our keeping our body fit and fine. Because for us, the most important thing is our nation, and for that we have to be at utmost priority of our health. Our health should be the pinnacle, and it should be on the top of other priorities. And in order to do that, we must have the ritual in the life. The second thing which I really loved about our military habit is being respectful to the seniors. Purva left. Aditya, Purva left.
Yeah, I think she left. I mean, she dropped, I guess, not left.
Yeah.
Disconnected.
So,
how much time you have to speak for?
So it's a normal table topic.
Table
We
talk.
need
2
to
minutes.
speak for 1 to 2 minutes. Yeah. Let her come back because I think she is the timer. So I think we might change the topic. Hello?
Have you finished?
I can't hear you, Purva. We can't hear you.
Hello now?
Mhm.
Okay.
No.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, now it's perfect.
Okay. Yes, are you finished with the speech?
No, actually, you got disconnected, and I thought that I could not able to see the time, and it's a tough thing to do for today. But still, I think we can go ahead with the next speaker.
Okay. Yes, so right now the time that my timer is showing is 2 minutes. So I don't know when you stopped, but when I had just dropped out, it was 1 minute, 10 seconds around that.
Just tell me the feedback, and
Yes.
just Aditya, let you know that we are keeping this session, or Purva is keeping this session for a short amount of people. So she has locked the room for the new entrants. So it's not like people are not joining. She wants to give value to the people who just come first. So that's it. Over to you, Purva.
Okay. Has Aditya asked it?
No, I told it because at the first time I also felt that why very so few people, and he must be having that question. It's a general question.
Yes. Yeah. So obviously, I mean, if I conduct 3 rounds, that means in 45 minutes, it is very much evident that the participant count should be less. Anyway, so I'll come to what I heard, that you talked about discipline was the quality, right? And you stressed on that. And as I told, you did not bring in too many perspectives, just you were stuck to one thing. But then you had a bit of ahs and ums in your speech, and you were dragging. Your voice is a bit dragging. The tone is dragging. So what happened? Even I faced this a lot during my initial stage, or I mean, when I was a newbie in Toastmasters. So what happens is that we want to speak for a longer period of time, so we tend to drag our words because we want to make that 2 minute mark. So don't do that. Even if it's a short speech, it's okay. Just have that non-dragging tone.
Purva, you told that we should just stick to one or one point only, like Chetan has said, discipline.
Yeah.
Or
Yes.
we can add some more
Yes.
perspective.
The
Or
thing is, one thing to add here is that it should not be very conflicting or paradoxical thing.
okay,
You have to make sure it should be consistent. That point should be linked to one another very well. So it should not be conflicting. That's it. So that's the feedback I wanted to give you, Chintan, from what I have heard. Okay. Yes. And then coming to the next participant, it would be Manish, and Chintan will evaluate. Okay. So the question is, how do you think your time in military affected you? How do you think your time in military affected you?
so I had a great time in military, and I have spent almost 10, 15 years in my military service, and I feel that this service had made me a person that I could have never been otherwise. It has made me very confident person. It has made me very uh, disciplined, and most important is my time management. I see people that are who are non-civilians. They are just they lack very time management. But in our army, the time management is the most important thing. And this is not, and this time management is put in our blood, and it will stay with us our whole life. So time management, it starts from morning and it's go till the night, and all the things that we do, it should be done within a particular period of time, and everything and the things that we covered at that time is also important, like our health, or what things that we do in that time. So yeah, overall it has made me a person who cares about my own self, and who also have some good habits that I have learned in my military service. Thank you. Over to you. Very difficult. Why we cannot hear you?
Yes, Chintan, please go ahead with your evaluation.
Yes. So it was a wonderful take on the topic. I think the question was how your military time affected the time of your life, and you linked it with the time management which you learned in the military, which is a great way to link your speech with time management as a skill. However, you could have added more content rather than only focusing on the time management, because at the end you said very beautifully that it made you health conscious, and it made you you had a great time till now in the military. You could have said that, taken it into a larger perspective, that even all the military people give the best time of their life, and it gives the time, it gives a good time to the citizens of our country as well. So kind of things you might have related to entire military or the citizen, because it's a military's job, and this might have sound authoritative or firm statement from a military person. Other than that, I think, as I am also speaking on a mobile, so you could have adjusted your mobile to your eye level, because the technique is about looking at the lens. And other than that, I don't have any recommendation.
Yes. Okay. Thank you, Chintan. And as of now, I don't have any feedback for you, Manish. And let's now proceed towards Aditya, and you will be evaluated by TM Manish. Yes. Okay. What has been difficult to communicate to family and friends about your military service? What has been difficult to communicate to family and friends about your military service?
The most important thing which I learned during my military service was my passion towards my own country. Whenever I see, even now, after so many years of service towards the military, whenever I see the flag of our nation, I am moved to tears. And this is something which I fail to see in everyone else. For example, people are only motivated on 15th of August and 26th of January. Apart from that, nobody remembers about what India is, how they got their freedom. And nowadays, the trend is becoming, especially in my family and people around me, they see 15th August and 26th of January only as a holiday. They feel that they can sleep a bit late. And this is something, it really irks me, because serving the nation for so many years, I am passionate. I get up early in the morning to see the parade. After taking VRS also, I'm so passionate whenever the soldiers are being given chakras, for example, Paramveer Chakra, Ashok Chakra, and every time I have tears in my eyes. But that is something I see missing completely in my family, relatives, and in general, the younger generation, the millennials, so-called millennials. And this is something I fail to communicate even today. And this can only happen if they serve the nation by themselves. This is the only thing I would like to say is very difficult to come.
So Poorva is not there, but I have to evaluate your speech. So I will go forward with that. So Aditya, it was a very good speech, and I have heard you first time, and you were very confident. Your thoughts were very good. Your idea was very good. It was a good take on on the topic, because your topic was. Can you please confirm the topic? It was
What is the one thing which you failed to communicate to your parents?
to your parents, and yes, you did it very well, because the actual point you took, that your feelings for the country, which you cannot otherwise communicate, and what you feel. The only recommendation is that the price technique told by Poorva, in the last E was eye contact, and
Okay.
eye contact. She said that you have to look all the times in the camera. So many times when you were thinking, you were looking down and then coming up. Only this one recommendation. Otherwise, I liked your speech. It was a good speech. Over to you, Poorva. Poorva, you're not audible, or she's left again. I think
I
she's
think
not.
he has an unstable internet.
Hmm. Poorva, you are facing some internet issues.
Yes,
You're not audible.
I'm really sorry about it. Can you hear me now?
Yes, but
Hello?
yes,
Can
we
you
can
hear?
hear. Your voice is breaking.
Yes.
Purva, you might need to switch
Yes.
off your video, which might fetch some more bandwidth, if that's okay.
Hello? Can you hear me now?
Yeah, this is better. And you might put your timer card in the chat if that's okay with everyone, so that you not need to open your video.
Yes. Okay, I'll do that. Yes. And I couldn't hear the entire speech of Aditya, but from what at least 1 minute I heard, and first I thought that where is he going? Is he really connecting to the point? But at the end, everything made sense about his deep thoughts. So yes, what I learned from Aditya's speech is that one should be patient and listen to the entire thing. So at the end, it did make sense. So good job, Aditya. All right, now we'll do the second round. And in the second round, Munish will speak first and Aditya will evaluate. Okay? Yes, and the question is, did you ever get caught breaking any rules? Did you ever get away with something you weren't supposed to do?
So, as you all know, that I have spent a good deal of time in my military service, and in military service there are many rules and regulations that you need to follow. These rules are to be followed on the daily basis, and there are some your seniors that will always keep a check on you. So I have learned in my military, I have learned to be disciplined, and I have learned all the things that I cannot that it did not happen that I break the rules. But by mistake, it happened 2-3 times that I have taken a leave, and I have given the letter that it will be a 4-day leave. But after I went home, it took me more time, and I didn't want to come back. So I make some excuses, and there was some effects of this, because there was no other person available for my duty. But these things I also learned, that it is not about me. I am serving a country, and when you serve a country, there are things that to be served on that level, that it does not affect the nation. And so when I was a young military trainer, I used to take it lightly. But when I became the senior, and I teach these things to my juniors, that you should not take things very easily. You should be very focused, and you should always take care that your duty is only can be fulfilled by only you, nobody else. We don't have any other people that that can be arranged on the spot. So this is what I learned after I did some mistakes in my duty. Over to you, Purva.
Yes, Aditya, please go ahead.
Yeah. All right, Monish, I think the topic was what are the mistakes you committed and you got away, which got away with the mistakes you committed.
Purva, my topic was, please can you repeat the topic?
Yes. Did you ever get caught breaking any rules? Did you ever get away with something you weren't supposed to do?
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so maybe you missed the point. It said you have to mention what mistake or anything you committed, either deliberately or by mistake, but you got away from that. And I felt somewhere you were going there when you said you used to take leaves, and I was expecting you would say I used to get away by taking leaves, but somewhere that point was missing, I felt. But the other point, because based on the topic you understood, you gave, I think you did justice to that. But the topic in general was what was the mistake you committed and got away from that, and I think that you missed entirely in your impromptu speak. Apart from that, I have only one recommendation. That is maybe what Chintan said. Your forehead was not visible completely, so maybe you can just adjust the camera a bit so that it is completely visible. Yeah. I mean, you can also look in the gallery view.
I have to hold it by hand if I have to just speak it now.
Okay.
Because I'm using my phone and
Okay.
I have, yeah. But I will try it next time.
Yeah, sure.
Munish, I have a quick comment. You this time, I don't know why, but you had so as a filler word multiple times, and even you started the speech with a so. You started that so, as we all know. So rather than starting with so or but or something like that, you just go and make a powerful statement which you already had in second or third line.
Okay.
Otherwise, Aditya has covered everything.
Yes. Thank you, Chintan.
Yes. Even I had the same feedback about filler words. There were plenty of fillers, yet the non-verbal aspect, you had a firm voice, I guess, and you looked very well at the camera, at least from what I saw. Now I can't look. Although.
Actually, the issue I'm facing is that the thoughts are not coming to my mind according to the military person perspective, that what a military person has gone through and what kind of feelings he could have. So I'm just trying to go into that what can be the points that can be covered in the speech.
Yes. So one thing that I would like to add here is that nobody has a military experience. We can imagine, we do have a fair enough idea of what military people do there. And we have seen a lot of pictures now about military, and also that's why I chose that topic, questions. The questions are not too hard. I'm not asking about deployment or war zone. What exactly did you do there? I was actually going to plan that, but then I switched. No. Switch to easy questions. Okay. Now let's go ahead, and the person who would speak is Chintan. And you will be evaluated by Manish. Okay. Yes. So the question for you is, was there anything you especially missed about civilian life? Was there anything you especially missed about civilian life?
The moment I joined the military, I forgot that I was a normal person. I had become devoted to our country and the first civilian of our country. So definition of civilian should not be a normal person living outside. It should be the person who's dedicated to the nation. And we in the military do so. So we are the first civilian of our country, in my personal belief and firm belief. And you also believe that, because for us, nation comes first. And if we do the belief in that, if we have the belief in that, we might do the best justice to our job which we have, to provide peace and harmony to our country and people of our great nation. So don't look at the scene of a normal person's life. Look at how we can improve the life of normal person who's keeping faith in us, and they sleep at the night remembering that our army is there and military is there, taking care of our nation and giving their blood, sweat, and soul for the country. So don't focus your mind over that particular thing. Focus how can improve your life as a military person, as you have dedicated your life in the military. And once a military guy, always and would be a military man forever for the country till the last breath of our life. So have the laser focus mind for the military and what you can do as a first civilian of the country, rather than looking at a picture of the other side, which is a green, but it is green because we are keeping it green. Over to you, Puru.
Yes, Manish, go ahead.
So it was a very good speech, Chintan, and according to the techniques, if I say that you have covered the techniques, your voice was very upright. You was looking at the camera, and your voice was clear. Also, you looked very confident. Also, so the technique was it was like very good, and on the content part also, it was very good. Like the perspective you choose the perspective that you will talk about something in general, that what people should think. The only recommendation what I think is that maybe this is maybe my personal opinion, that if you could have added some emotional part of the life, like your topic was like what things you missed in the civilian life. So anything emotional part about your life that you could have added. Maybe you have changed that point also, that people think that civilian life is very enjoyable, but our life in the military, we also enjoy a lot. We have a great life. We have a family. We have these parties also, everything.
Sorry, Manish. Yes, even I wanted to add one thing here, that Chintan, you don't always have to. I know it is important to connect to the bigger picture and to always give motivation to the audience, but sometimes the joy can come from simple things as well. You could have just said that I missed my family a lot. And that really would have connected with the civilian, because a civilian is listening to your answer. And everybody knows that we should respect our country. Our first duty comes towards our country. But what are those small things which common man has in common? I know I'm just making. Okay, I hope you're getting what I'm saying, right? My emotions. So small things also matter a lot. Yes, I guess Munish just wanted to cover that.
Yeah. That was my point. Like same point.
Yes. Okay. Okay, now we'll move towards Aditya and you will be evaluated by Chintan. Okay. What do you remember about the day you enlisted? What do you remember about the day you enlisted?
Enlisted.
Enlisted means the day you joined the military.
Okay. Well, when I joined the military, I remembered the day when I had joined school, because I never wanted to go to school. And the same thing happened with me, because my family members, my father actually, he had served the military, and he wanted his son to carry that tradition of joining the military. I never wanted to join the military. I had half-heartedly given the examinations also for joining the military. And somehow, because of the talent which I had, maybe aptitude and whatnot, I cleared it, and I was going to join the military. When I went there in the camp, military camp, I could feel the same thing, same emotions were running through my mind when I was going to school on my first day. Only thing is, as an adult, I couldn't cry, but the same feeling was coming through me, and I wished that if only I could cry, and if my parents could come and take me back home, I would never have to join the military. But alas, that was not going to happen. And I think that was the most evident moment I remember when I joined the military. Back to you.
Very well spoken, Aditya. Yes. Yes, Chintan, go ahead.
So you were firm. As soon as you got the topic, you were very clear what you wanted to speak. And as in the earlier speech also, what Poorva said, we had to listen to you carefully, and you made us eager what's coming next. That's a big point you have. And you were emotionally invested in the speech. That was shown when you were speaking the emotional lines of tears, and we could see the emotion on your face. The only recommendation I have for you, you could have spoken or given a message at the end, because you said this was the moment. You might it's a personal opinion again, that you might have said that even though that was the feeling, but after joining the military, I am proud, and if I had to change that moment, I would never do it again and would definitely come back. Kind of this, so that you end on a high rather than just telling what you felt. Give a bigger picture and call to action. That was missing, I think. Over to you, Puru.
Yes. And if I had to add, then I just found the response to be perfect. I don't know why, but I thought that it was appropriate, candid, and just casual yet formal. So there was this right balance between what we spoke. I really loved the answer. Although you did not speak for 2 minutes, just 1 minute, 10 seconds, but it's appropriate. So I loved it. Yes. So we are done with the second round today, and now we'll go to the third round. All right.
Puru, a small doubt. So we are answering to general public, or whom we are answering the question to?
General public.
Okay.
I mean, why did you even have this doubt at the first place? You're
No,
not.
the moment I delivered a speech, I thought there's a new military guy and asking me that what you miss from the civilian life. So I made my speech on that aspect. Yeah.
Yes, your speech can differ based on the audience. So I should have mentioned it to whom you're talking, right? So it's just for the general audience. Yes. All right, now who will speak first? Okay, let's go to Aditya, and Munish will evaluate you. Okay, and the question is, okay, sir, what are you feeling about today's situation between India and Pakistan?
Can you repeat once more?
What are you feeling about the today's situation between India and Pakistan? Assume they had a very big war, ceasefiring and all. So as an army general, what do you think about it?
Pakistan, India, I don't know why such an issue is even there, because I have never felt that Pakistan were never a match for India as such. That dialogue from that movie, I don't remember which dialogue, but Sunny Deol had told one very evident dialogue, which I don't want to repeat here. But if all the Indians went to Pakistan and peed in their country, there would be a flood. And that is what I believe in. That is what will happen. Pakistan are absolutely no match compared to what India's military techniques, the arms and ammunitions which we have. So many times they have attacked us from behind. I know the Siachen war and so forth, but they always had backing of other countries. For example, America was involved. For example, Russia was involved. China was involved. But this time, all the other countries are with us. America is with us. Russia is with us. China is with us. In fact, the UN is also with us. And absolutely, I can assure you, if a war happens today, tomorrow, or any day, India will definitely destroy Pakistan. And I hope they don't attack us, because India never attacks first, but we retaliate with a vengeance. Over to you, Topics Master.
Thank you so much. Yes, Munish, go ahead.
So Aditya, it was again a very good speech, and you have improved on the eye contact part also, and your speech was confident, clear, and your thoughts was also very clear that what you wanted to say, like the issues you took about the other countries supporting and about the strength of the Indian people. What I personally felt, maybe it's a personal opinion, that if you could have talk more about the present situation of India and Pakistan, that where they stand now. If the war would happen, India will defeat Pakistan. It's our personal opinion, right? A personal thought about. As per topic, it was what the current situation and what you think about the situation, maybe what is going on the border sides and how the politics is people are playing, or what kind of terrorist activities are going on. Maybe that could that you could have added if possible. So, but this is my personal opinion. I think Poorva will tell that this is needed or not.
Yes, what I felt is that it is his perspective, right? And just Munish said that it is your personal opinion that you want, you expected him to say this. But I totally felt that it was fine with what he answered. And also, I liked one thing that if this would have been a normal table topic session and a normal topic, then I would have probably gave a recommendation that please do not take sides, or just favor one party and talk about the bloodshed and all. But army officer, they just speak directly and to the point. Whatever their opinion is, even if it's like one-sided, they share it without any hesitation. I like that part. So it was really like an army officer. Good job on that. Yes. All right. Now we'll go ahead with Chintan, and Aditya will evaluate. Okay. What should I ask you? Yes. Okay, so the question is, what's the best part of being a military officer? What's the best part of being a military officer?
The best part of being a military officer is we get up with only one mission: to give our best for our nation. And we sleep with the very same mission. We live with the same breath. Each breath of us is devoted to our country. And that's the best thing of our life. As a military person, we are not wandered. We are completely focused for our duties and dedicate our lives. Even though sometimes we miss our family and miss our normal routine life which we had earlier before the military, but nation comes first and we never forget that. So for us, the most important thing is that our duty comes first, and that's the most beautiful thing a military man can have, should have, and must have.
Okay. Yes,
Yeah.
Aditya, please go ahead.
Yeah. I think you started on a very strong note. I mean, we sleep with a mission, we get up with a mission, and I could completely resonate with the way you were saying. So congratulations on actually bringing the message to the audience upfront. You started at you gave the message at the start itself and continued with the same motion throughout it. I just have one recommendation, that is, when you're saying that you get up with one mission, so you should bring that in your voice also. I feel I get up with this mission that I am going to serve my country, and whenever I go to sleep, I sleep with the same mission. So the voice modulation I felt was missing, especially the passion should come out when you're talking. That's the only recommendation I have.
Yes, and one thing that I would like to mention is that although I did not agree with what Aditya said about voice modulation, because generally when military people speak, just talking from the perspective of military people, okay, just they generally don't have much voice modulation. I feel they just have one tone which is very strong and firm. That's it. and that strongness conveys their passion. I guess they don't have to add an extra voice to bring it out. So I felt that it was okay when Chintan spoke like that. And I mean, it is completely dependent upon the perspective. And yes, you spoke not even for 1 minute, completed within 50 seconds. Now there is nothing wrong for speaking, for a shorter period of time. But I think the way you started, it could have been builded up more. No, you could have shared. I think you could have added something more to it, and because at the end, last 20 seconds, the things became repetitive for me, from what I had heard. So maybe that could have been avoided.
So, Poorva, just I want to know that when we talk about, when we give opinion, we have to talk about the country only. That the topic is that what is the strongest? I think
What is the
what is
best thing about being a military officer?
what the best thing. So we need to have like best thing can be my personal life also, or something that I enjoy being a military person. Or should we have to talk about the country? We have to from the perspective of the country, that we think about the country only, and it's all about the country.
All about the country in the sense, I did not understand the question. I
Like
mean,
Chintan started that we have only one mission. We wake up with one mission and we sleep with one mission.
yes.
So he thinks that this is my good point as a military person. And but there can be other perspective also as being a military person, like what they enjoy as the military, what other things in military life that give to them the kind of life they have in the military or something like that, other than the country part, like.
Yes. It is dependent on you, what you enjoy, what you like.
Okay.
It does not have to always depend on the country's perspective. It can be a personal perspective as well. Yes. Now, so the last participant of the last round, Munish, will speak and Chintan will evaluate. Okay. And let me ask you the final question. Okay. Chalo. Yes. What will be the message that you will give to the new generation as a military?
Whatever. So sorry, I again started with so, but this time I will try. Okay. I have a message for new generation, and being a military officer, I think that this message should be conveyed to all the people of a country, and especially the new generation. It is good that we have aims in our life, and it is good that we want have achieved many things in our life. We have our wealth goals, our passion, our other hobbies or other passions. But one thing that is at most important for all the people is that they should serve their country. They should have aim towards their country. They could have their personal goals, but the aims of but it is the responsible of every responsibility of every citizen that they should include a personal goal towards their country also, that how would they would like to serve their country. Although I will congratulate all the people who are looking forward to join the military service, because this is the best possible way they can serve. But there are all the people who are not joining the military, they can also serve their country by sitting at their home or whatever they are doing at their present, because to support to support the army people, to support the people of the country, to help the people of the country, it is the service to the nation. There are many people who are serving at the border, and all the people who from the nearby villages or places are coming to serve the country, or to serve those people who are serving at the border, because they think that it is their own responsibility. So all the civilians can also do from their home in many ways, and it is my a message to them that every person should include a goal towards the country in their life. Over to you, Purva.
Yes. Yes, Chintan, please go ahead.
So Munish, you started really well because you identified that you had a filler and you restarted. So identifying a filler when you have, it's the start of removing the filler. And I loved what you did. You had a great content and you focused on the country again. And as you said in your earlier feedback, this point, in my opinion, had the chance to incorporate, a message to the younger generation or teen generation. Could be a discipline what a civilian person has, because when you were saying that you can serve the country and you can serve by sitting at the home, you did not exactly mention how we can serve by sitting at our home. You might have said, and with an example, that these are the qualities which a military person have, and my message is to live a disciplined life, have a fixed routine, follow the passion which we have, no matter it's our country or anything, which is the utmost priority. And if you are passionate enough for the country, you can join the country, or you can list down the military qualities and say that these are the qualities you can imbibe as teen generation to become great in terms of personal growth as well as for the country. So the content could have been modified in this way, because in between I got lost where you were going with we can serve the country by sitting at our home. Otherwise, wonderful start. A body was good, but a message should be made more clear. That's my opinion.
Yes, thank you so much, Chintan. And today we actually finished at 9:45. I'm really, really happy today. Yes, thank you so much, everyone. Let me take a group photo also. Yes. Please pose. Yes, thank you so much. Okay. Yes, Chintan, if you want to give a topic now, you can go ahead and then I'll continue with the feedback.
So the topic to you is, how can you motivate general public to join military?
How can I motivate the general public to join the military?
Aditya will evaluate.
Well, let me inform you beforehand that my answer might not be that which you have expected. I personally believe that people who really want to serve the nation, they don't have to join military. A person who really loves himself, why would he want to go at the border, leave his family all alone and just wait for being killed? Why would he do that? I really researched about it a lot, being a military officer. And because I studied psychology so passionately, I understood that somewhere deep down in childhood, when someone kills themselves, mentally, they are alive physically, but they have been buried mentally. These are the ones who go on the border and they sacrifice themselves because nothing is left inside them actually. And they are so sturdy, they are so, in the name of discipline, they might want others to kill their emotions and just do some robotic activity. That is my personal opinion. And a person who really loves himself, there are n number of ways to serve the nation. And the first thing is to love yourself and be responsible, be devoted to the duty at the present moment. That is the way in which you can best serve the nation. And once, if everybody loves themselves, there would be no borders, there would be no military. That's my end goal. And for that, I would encourage all the young generation to really think about what about the way they want to serve the nation. Is it really that important to go on the borders? Or is there any other way? That's all from my side. Thank you so much.
All right, I think your perspective was very, very good, because nobody would have thought of this coming from an army officer. But all the points which you mentioned laid down were perfect. I felt I was able to relate to all of them. Nobody wants to go on the border and die. So congratulations on that. One recommendation which I have is never start your table topics or any speech as such with a contradictory statement. For example, you need not have said that you will not be able to relate to my answer, or it might not be what you expected. Not necessary. Some people might be able to relate, some might not be. But you don't have to make it explicit by saying that this is not the answer you might expect. So that way you're sending a negative emotion in the minds of people that, oh, whatever she says might not be for me. So you can avoid this starting thing, I feel. The ending which you said, the call for action, I think that was also very good. When you said you just love yourself, and that way we can eliminate the borders, and there might not be any need for military. So I think you did complete justice to the topic, perfectly executed. Only with one recommendation, I think you can definitely become a good impromptu speaker.
Thank you so much, Aditya. Others can go ahead.
So I completely agree with what Aditya says. It's a saying, and I heard it from world champion of Toastmasters, that when you want to say something, don't say it, with the preface. Just show it to the people. Let them know, just like what Aditya does, that let the speech progress, and at the end we will anyway come to know what your perspective is. But don't say it out loud what you are going to say beforehand. The second recommendation I have, when you said that at the end we don't need to have border, it sounds very philosophical, very goody for a person to be. But take a practical example. You are an army officer. You could have said that although we do not want borders, but this is a harsh reality that we need to confine to the borders of the nations. And if it is a requirement, then we need people to join military to serve our nation and to safeguard our nation from the people who are breaching our borders, something like that. Because an army officer should not be so philosophical that away from the reality. That's my opinion as an audience or as a general public, because I look up to an army officer, and when he says something like that, it sounds very good to our mind, but it's not the real thing.
Yes, true. Even that perspective is valid, Chintan. You're right at your place. Correct. Yes. Yes, Manish, if you want to go ahead, you can go ahead.
So my opinion is also like it's more philosophical kind of thing, but not very practical, because like it is said that if the army leaves the border for half an hour only, then the China will take over the Indian borders. So you're a military officer, and it is not possible that people should not go uh, to the borders, or there would be no army service kind of thing. So there need to be people like who are serving the nation. Their mental thought can be any, but I don't think that there are all the people who have this kind of life in their childhood that they only go to the military service. There might be some people who have love for the country, because love for a country is something that is uh, it is a kind of thing that many people feel that they want to serve. Though there could be some people who are going for the sake of the country. So you could have added a point that if you want to serve the country, then you should then there should be in your heart that uh, you love your country above your family, above uh, anything else. So that is you could have added in the positive note. uh, you have given a viewpoint which is not which is contrary to the topic, but you can have in the end you could have taken this viewpoint that people, there are many people who are mentally affected, who are serving the nation, or who are on the borders. They are not mentally fit, or their mental health is not good. Maybe if you are taking that point, and all those people who are going for the love of the country, they should join, or maybe some kind of thing. If That is what I felt about the topic, about this.
Purva, just a food for thought. You delivered a speech, something like delivering a speech in a peace summit or something like that, a unity summit, something like that. Peace and harmony. And as our topic or this session is entirely dedicated to impersonate a military officer, you were not in that role. You explained your emotions and we felt you rather than a military person. That's what I felt.
Actually, I want to add here that when I spoke, I had said as a military officer who has reflected on it a lot. In the start itself, I had mentioned it. And when I took a pause of 10 seconds, right? And I had no intention with conforming with what audience expected. I was very clear that I have to tell them this message. I'm not interested in making them feel that no, you should join. What Munish and Chintan have told, that was not at all my perspective. I have clearly decided. That is why I did not add it. It's not that I can't add it. I had decided to not add it. That is why I just said it. But it is right. I mean, people complain to me a lot that what you speak is really good, but it is not practical. Yes, that is also true. But somewhere I have studied psychology very deeply, and this is a real thing. Okay, so these people, if you really dig down in their childhood, so you will find that they have actually killed off their emotions in a brutal manner. So they don't feel anything, even if someone shots. A gun a bullet in their chest. They don't feel anything. They are not that afraid. So it is a very deeper thing, and I just wanted to convey my perspective.
With due respect to your research and psychology, as an army officer, if you speak to the general public with this message, I think people who want to join military might think twice before joining. So just think from the audience perspective also, because you were so focused about yourself. Put audience first and then deliver a message. That's what all I want to convey.
Yes, and somewhere I feel that we speak to convey what we think and not to convey what people expect. So I did it. Yes, I'm really a person who focuses on her feelings and what she wants to convey. So yes, but I take it totally. Okay, we can have a debate for a longer period of time, but yes, I understood the perspective. All right, let's go ahead and let's take the feedback for this session. How did you find it? I'll start with Aditya today because you're a new joinee. How did you feel about the acronym, and did it really help you? And did you enjoy the session?
I think I really enjoyed the session, especially the recommendations were very fruitful, I felt. Normally, I don't look forward to recommendations, but the recommendations were really interesting. Everybody had different perspective. Normally, you have only one evaluator, but here we had sort of a rotation of evaluators, and I got to know everybody's perspective, how they think, and everything was valid. So it really prepared me or prepped me for impromptu contest, which is going to happen probably in February. It was fantastic. I really enjoyed it. I was not looking forward to it. I just saw the link and I thought, okay, I'll just see what happens. And in the end, I ended up really getting involved and enjoying. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Thank you so much for joining today, Aditya. We hope to see you in more sessions. Yes, and our regular joinees, Munish and Chintan, yes, go ahead. With the same thing which you repeat every day. Yes, you can go ahead.
Amazing session. Again, kudos to you for bringing this innovation every time, different roles and different techniques, acronyms. This was, I think, by far one of the best sessions which we had, because the technique was very clear. You given the example at the front, and we were very clear while speaking also. So wonderfully done. And I found really enjoyed the feedbacks and the speeches of Aditya and Munish as well. And Aditya has said our sessions or your sessions are such that it's just same as Aditya's speeches, that initially we don't know what to expect and at the end we are satisfied. So kudos to you for arranging such session again and again. The only recommendation, to be brutally honest, don't bring out the topic of India-Pakistan, especially when we are live streaming or even restrictedly live streaming. Again, I'm saying other topics were perfectly fine because it enhances our viewpoint and delivering our expressions very well. But don't touch the topic where people are, sensitive, because when something like India versus Pakistan comes, people pour their heart out and might speak something which are not good on this platform. That's the only suggestion I have. Manish.
Thank you, Chintan.
So, like every day or every session, I really enjoyed the session again. And this time, I don't know how we made it on time. Like maybe the speeches were short. Like all the speeches were 1 minute and 30 seconds. And I personally was fighting to make the topics to the point, like coming with the thoughts what I can, because it was a new perspective. I have never thought about this kind of perspective to speak in the terms of a military officer. And but in the in the second topic or the third topic, I was after listening to these two people, more points are added in my mind that what I can talk about. And but it was a really good session, and it was also a new a learning experience for me. Like I learned a lot in this session again. Thank you, Poorva, for that.
Thank you so much, Manishri. Your comments really make my day, and I'm happy that I could add value to someone's life through education. Yes, in public speaking. Yes, thank you guys for joining today. And actually today I did not post the link in the morning, and Chintan had just sent me the message that are you going to conduct it or not, and I was really having second thoughts about it because I was busy in my practical and all. But somehow I managed to come up with the topic, and I just posted the link and I said, thank God I got the time and all. If you hadn't reminded
Poorva,
me, I would have maybe made up the mind. There. Yes.
Well, you are facing internet issues many times. Like last session also, I think there was internet issue. So this time also, like you are not very clear. We cannot see you because you are, when you move, there is some delay kind of thing, I think sometimes. So
yeah, I don't know why is it always on 9 p.m. exactly. Because the entire day my internet connection is all good, but at 9 p.m. it just, I don't know what happens. But I was not scared, why? Because I knew that you people will handle it amongst yourself. At least Chintan, last time when I dropped out just in between, he handled the session very well. I had just finished, but yeah, he did the job. So I was going to send him the list of questions that he could ask so that you can continue ahead in the session at least. So there is nothing to be worried about. And I'll take care of this from the next meeting onwards though. Yeah. Yes. All right,
thank
guys.
you again, Poorva, and keep
Then
innovating, and we will keep attending. Thank you very much. Thank you, Aditya. Thank you, Manish.
Chintan, I want to ask that you are holding this speech